Hello everyone, welcome to the HAYIK Show. This is your host, How to Go.
Hello, I'm also your host, Steve of Unite.
Welcome to the HAYIK Show. HAYIK stands for How Are You in Korea? And we talk about the daily lives of KOCIS K-influencers and discuss current events in Korea.
Every Thursday at 2 p.m., we'll be streaming with new K-influencers every week, so stay tuned.
Now let's say hello to our guests. Hi.
Hello. It's a pleasure to meet you. Could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, nice to meet you guys. I'm Awien. I'm from the Netherlands. I'm currently in Korea just resting, but before I've done a working holiday where I worked. I've also graduated from the Korean language institution of Yonsei. I've done various part-time jobs, teaching, cafe jobs, and currently just doing some other activities.
How many years did you say that was?
It's like total 6 years.
6 years in Korea?
Yeah.
Wow. 6 years in Korea.
Amazing.
Wow. Hi, my name is Laura. I am from Colombia. I've been in Korea for about 3 years.
3 years.
The first time I came here was as an exchange student. Then I came back to study Korean for a year. Actually, I also graduated from Yonsei, Ohapang.
Oh, yeah.
And while I was studying in Yonsei, I applied for the GKS scholarship. That one included another year of Korean. So until last Sunday, I was in Daejeon studying Korean, and now I'm going to start my master's degree in Hanyang University next week.
Oh my goodness, next week.
Yeah.
So you recently moved back to...
Yes, I'm finally back in Seoul.
Wow.
Amazing. Then could you maybe tell us some interesting stories from your time here?
Wow, well, I had a very interesting experience when I was my second year here. I went to temple stay. I'm not Buddhist, but I thought it would be an interesting experience. It was a trip with for influencers, so I thought, why not try it out? So I went, and it was in Haenam, way at the end of Korea, and it was very fun because we get to connect with nature and also to do a tea ceremony. I really love green tea, but it was my first time sleeping in the floor. And the pillow was like a stone. We had to do beats. And the thing with Buddhist beats is that you have to do 108 bows.
Right.
My legs, I couldn't. And the next day I had to wake up at 4 a.m. for morning prayers.
Like a boot camp.
It was like a boot camp in nature. We got to enjoy nature. So that was the good thing. And we also had a night watch, and the monk tried to scare us, which was pretty interesting. But yeah, that was an interesting experience. So yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Sleeping on the floor is good for your back.
Yeah, right? I do that right now, actually. Yeah. And I love those stone pillows as well. As you were saying that, I'm like, that's literally, I was sleeping on the floor last night. Oh, really? And I've got like quite a tough pillow as well. So yeah, I think I'd really enjoy that.
My body hurt a lot after that experience. Nice.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, my experience. It's very memorable. It's still from my first year in Korea, maybe like the first few months. So I didn't know any Korean. I was like they said, I hopped off the airplane. I started working, and I think I finished very late, and that I took the subway and bus home, and it was 11 p.m. Around 11 p.m. I was listening to music, so I wanted to get some money for the next day. I don't know, maybe. I think I wanted to go to the market. So I went into those booths where you have the ATMs. So I went in, everything was fine, it's very nice and clean there. And so I put my card and put the PIN code, and I was choosing how much should I withdraw. And all of a sudden, it was blacked out. It was black screen, and I was like shocked. I was like, what do I do? Did it just stop? So I checked the one next to it, and it was also black, and it kind of took my card, so I didn't know what to do. And I was very shocked. So what do I do? There was nobody there. It was 11 p.m. Everything was closed. And so I thought, maybe I should call someone, but I didn't know Korean. But anyways, I left the booth, so I went outside. I was like, okay, maybe I can ask someone on the road. But there was no one. And so, okay, let me just go in and see if my card maybe popped out of the machine. But once I tried to go in, the doors were
Oh
locked.
my god.
Yeah, because like I was listening to music, so I missed the announcement that everything basically closed at 11 p.m. I didn't know that because
Oh.
in our country the ATMs are 24/7. So yeah, with no Korean skills, I just decided to go home, sleep, and the next day I had to go to the bank to get a new card.
Whoa.
And I didn't explain any of the situation because I couldn't.
Oh
So
my
in
God.
Korean, I just said like, I want a new card, please.
Yeah.
So I still remember it till this day.
That's amazing. So you left your card like in the machine.
Yeah, in the machine. And the next day I did check. Maybe it did come out, but it wasn't there.
It wasn't there.
It wasn't there. So.
What if somebody like took it?
Well, luckily in Korea, that doesn't happen. Like I've lost my card twice before, but it was always returned to me, or I just followed my step back, and it was always just on the floor.
Oh, on the floor.
Yeah.
Interesting. That reminds me actually, because what people don't know is my father is visiting Korea for 10 days, and he actually came a little bit earlier, like a few months ago, and he was visiting, and we were walking around near Sincheon, and then he lost his wallet.
Oh.
And but I never like went to retrace the steps or like went to go get it back or anything. And so we checked now. It's 3 months later, and obviously we can't find it. But
It's gone?
I mean, I don't know. It could be gone, or it could have been returned or something. But it was so long ago, so we don't know what happened to it.
Oh,
but I hear like a lot of people get their wallets back,
like
and
if
they
you go
get
to
their
like
cards
police
back.
station, usually it's also there.
I'll have to do that next time. Sorry.
Maybe you can still go.
Maybe it's still there.
There?
Yeah.
So you think we should go to like Shincheon?
Yeah,
please?
you should.
Okay. We'll try that.
Alright, so what are your plans in Korea from now on?
So like I mentioned, I'm resting now.
Resting?
I have tried other visas, but they didn't work, and it kind of made me realize, hey, let me take this opportunity to just rest in Korea, travel around, go abroad. Next month, I'm also going to Vietnam.
Vietnam.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's very because Asia is very far from Europe. So now that I am in Korea, it's a lot easier to go to like Japan and China.
What visa are you on currently then?
It's just a tourist visa.
It's a tourist visa.
Tourist.
Okay.
Nice. I would like to travel as well, but first I need to start my master's degree. I'm gonna do a master's degree in entrepreneurship, so I want to study, maybe to keep working on my YouTube channel, my social media, and also I would like to create my own business.
Oh.
My university has a lot of tools for that. They even have like a club at Tongari for entrepreneurship, so I would like to enter that next semester. And yeah, hopefully when I finish university, I have something established.
Ooh, very nice. I don't speak Spanish, but I constantly follow your social media, and there's just such nice videos because she teaches like about Korea,
Oh, really?
kind of like Korean words and whatnot to her audience, like in Colombia, and it's very interesting. Like so much energy, and you edit really well as well. So,
Thank you.
Yeah, the YouTube you're doing very well.
I gotta check it out.
Guys, have you seen the movie Oppenheimer yet?
Not yet.
No, nobody's seen it
yet.
yet.
I mean, I know what's it about, and I heard a lot about it from friends, but I haven't seen it yet. I need to.
Me too. Like
Really?
Barbie and Oppenheimer were very popular, but I haven't seen both of them, so not yet.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, they called it Barbenheimer. It was
Barbenheimer.
yeah, it was an event between the two of them because they released on exactly the same day.
So you just like take the camera, just go to the movie theater right now and watch it?
Right now, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down. I haven't seen it yet. Yeah, Christopher Nolan's my favorite director. So, well, actually, on August 15th, Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer was released in theaters.
Oh.
It's a movie based on a true story of the genius American scientist Oppenheimer, who participated in the Manhattan Project to develop nuclear weapons and invent the atomic bomb.
I mean, they just told us that they haven't watched it yet, so...
Yeah, so we need to go to the cinema. I think it's still in the cinema, and it's like one of the top movies. So we'll probably be there for a little while and have a lot
I'll
of
go
chances
tomorrow.
to go watch it.
Yeah, I should go too.
I haven't watched the movie in like... I haven't been to the movie theaters in like 3 months, I think.
Oh, 3 months?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Well, that's not that bad. 3 months to the movie.
Or
theater?
it might be more.
Uh-huh.
I actually don't remember.
What was it? What did you see?
The last movie?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Wow. Okay, it's been a while. few years. Okay. Well, if you've ever watched Oppenheimer, you might be able to find two main subjects that can cause endless discussion: the atomic bomb and nuclear energy. So in comparison to carbon-based fuels like coal, petroleum, and natural gas, nuclear energy has the advantage of being a highly efficient, cost-effective energy source that does not increase carbon emissions. On the other hand, it's an incomplete technology that has unsolved issues like the disposal of radioactive waste and sometimes can be a little bit dangerous as well.
Right.
What's your stance on nuclear fuel in everyday life? Do you think it's efficient or too big of a risk?
I mean, even though it's a risk, I think it would be a good solution because actually the fossil fuels and all of the energy sources that we're mostly using right now are causing a lot of deaths as well because we have, fine dust and we have a lot of contamination. So in comparison, renewable energies and nuclear energies don't cause that much. I mean, of course, if there's no damage, if there's no accident, it's way more sustainable, it's better in my opinion, because if, for example, if we do just renewable energies, the sun is not always there, or there's no always wind, so we will have to find a way to kind of save some energy and then use it at night. But with nuclear energy, it's a little bit more constant. So even though I think, there needs to be more research, but it would be a good solution. Along with renewable energies, I think it would be a good solution.
Yeah, and one of the issues you're saying with the sun and wind, that it's not always sunny and windy, then you have to store it on batteries, and making those batteries themselves can be kind of expensive, resource intensive, and that in itself as well can be a little bit of a detriment to the environment. So there's lots of ups and downs in every area.
Well, that's true, and I do agree with that. But still, I think in this day and age, we can go without nuclear energy because if I just take the Netherlands, for example, there's way more solar panels for solar energy. Almost every house, not just most of them. We have a lot of wind turbines because the Netherlands has a lot of wind in general. But also what I saw just recently was France, I think Paris, started to implement, the subway gates. They have this thing that you push, so not like Korea, but you have to push it and then you can go through the gate. And so they have made technology that turns that into the energy that kind of powers the subway station.
Wow.
And so I do think if people, for example, focus less on nuclear energy, and even though it costs more, just focuses on new technology, I think we kind of can do without the nuclear energy. I mean, it's better for the planet in the long run. So I hope it's possible one day.
All of those innovative ways of doing things and whatnot. I mean, in Germany as well, and maybe a few other countries, there's an initiative that people can have solar panels and generate energy for their own home. And any excess that you generate as well can get sold back to the government and put back into the system, right?
We have kind of that with the houses. Also, you can do it together with your neighbors. So, for example, if you guys want to share solar panels, that's also possible. Electric cars are really a big thing. So I think if the government pushes it, it's possible.
But I think since these days global warming, and it's very, very catastrophic. Global warming is hurting the earth and everything. But it's I think there's nothing much we can do because these days it's technology is very advanced. So a lot of people use more technology, more energy, more electricity. So although nuclear fuel is very powerful and reliable, but it's very dangerous and so I think there's a more safer way to do it, but much more sacrifices are made.
And as we progress as well, like you're saying, we need more and more energy to provide for the things that are being developed. And there's countries, say third world or developing countries as well that have not reached the same energy consumption as other countries. And so how we'll be able to provide for all of the countries that are going to start developing and reaching such a high level of energy use. I mean, I know that like nuclear is kind of building towards, there's this thing of like fission and fusion, and we're trying to build to a point of using fusion for energy. And so that's basically what the sun does. The sun is fusing together atoms, and then a huge amount of energy is released because of that. And so if we are able to like get to that place where we can use fusion energy, then I guess there'll be a lot of stuff that humanity will be able to do, like go to Mars.
Yeah.
Go to Mars.
Yeah, don't you guys want to go to Mars?
Sure, let's go.
Right?
Yeah.
Would you go?
No, I'm kind of afraid to go. Not yet, you know. Maybe if
Not
it's
yet.
more developed.
More developed.
I don't want to be the test bunny. That's
Okay. No test bunny.
I'll be waiting for the YouTube videos.
Easy.
reviews.
Yeah.
Reviews, yeah.
My whole
Travel guide.
I would say.
my Mars hotel tour. I'll be waiting for that one.
But then say, okay, 20 years from now, we can go to Mars, and it's pretty safe and everything's developed a little bit. Would you go to Mars or would you stay on Earth?
I would rather stay on Earth
Stay on
and
Earth?
die on Earth.
And die on Earth. Okay, no matter what.
Yes.
Oh,
I think me too. Yeah.
yeah.
How about you?
Myself? Depends. If they offered something like really cool,
Really cool.
yeah, like say could go to Mars and develop like a city, like a new city. I've always kind of wanted to like develop a whole new city from the ground up and make it like really efficient.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool, and I might go to that for that.
Is it like? Does it look like Earth?
Different. Like there should be plants. At that point, if there's plants and you can like breathe outside, I'd definitely go. Or like a big sphere that you can like
Sphere.
live in. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd go. Would you go?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No?
Yeah.
Am I the only one who's going to Mars?
Actually,
Would anybody come with me? Anybody wants to join me at Mars?
I mean,
Please.
I hope we can like FaceTime. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we can do some FaceTiming.
Maybe HAYIK show in Mars. On Mars.
Ooh, that'd be cool. HAYIK show from Mars.
HAYIK show from Mars.
Yeah.
I'll be on Earth. You be on Mars.
Yes,
Through Zoom, maybe.
I like that. Exactly. Okay, we'll organize that to happen.
Yeah.
Please, Elon Musk, get that going. Nuclear fusion as well. But yeah, it's a question that nobody has yet found the answer to. So I hope some better solutions will be discovered in the future.
Yes.
Then, guys, this week's topic of the HAYIK show is Korea's Chilseok.
Chilseok.
Do you guys know Chilseok?
Yes, I've heard about it in Korean class.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never heard about it.
Yeah, right? Chilseok? I've never heard about that
Yeah,
either.
Chilseok.
Well, actually, we did a play about it, and it's a very interesting story. It's a love story.
Yeah.
So it's about the king of the skies, and he had a very beautiful daughter who fell in love with a guy who liked to always go in a cow, and sometimes he would like play some instruments. And they fell in love. So the king was like, oh, I'm going to find out who this guy is to see if he's worthy of my daughter. And he went around in the village and everybody was like, no, he's a great guy. So he approved of the marriage. And when they married, they were so in love. They would spend all the time together. And they started neglecting their duties. So the king got mad and decided to separate them, one to one side of the sky and the other one to the other side. They could meet just one day a year, which was Chilseok. So in that day, they would go and meet, but both sides of the heavens were separated by the Milky Way, so they couldn't meet. And they started crying, which caused a lot of natural disasters on Earth. So the crowd saw that and they were like, oh, we should help them out. And they created a bridge with their bodies. And that's how they ended up meeting. So they said that every time that Chilseok comes, there would rain or something would happen because the two lovers met.
This was a play?
I did it. It's a story, but like I did the play, and I was a proud crow. Crow. Yes,
Crow.
sorry.
You were a crow.
Yeah, I was a crow.
A crow?
Yeah, I'm curious.
I'm curious.
Can you show us a little bit of performance?
Ka ka.
Whoa, that was really believable.
I took it very seriously.
Oh, wow. All right, so Chilseok signifies July 7th. You're probably wondering why we're celebrating July's holiday when it's already August. It's August?
Okay. It's already August. 8 months
August?
into the year. Can you believe it?
It's already the end
my
of
God.
August.
Almost September.
So we use a lunar calendar when celebrating Chilseok, and this year, August 22nd, is considered Chilseok. Do you guys know that there's a very beautiful and sad story about Chilseok? Have you heard of the story of Gyeonwoo and Jicknyeo?
Yes.
So I guess she explained.
Yeah, she explained that. Have you
guess-
heard of it before?
Well, I didn't know the names, but like she explained, so I guess one is the princess and one is the
Yes.
right here.
Well, you ready to hear about it again? Because
Yeah.
we'll tell you a little
Yes.
story about it.
Yeah. It's story time. on
Story
HAYIK
time,
Show.
yeah.
The story we're about to tell you is an old Korean tale. It's a beautiful and sad story that happened in the heavens a long, long time ago. The king of the heavens had a pretty princess. She had great weaving skills and thus called Jicknyeo, which means the weaver.
Weaver.
Whenever the king saw Jicknyeo's work, he couldn't help himself admiring her craft and complimenting her that there is no one who can outdo her. When Jicknyeo got old enough to get married, the king looked upon her on her loom and thought he should find her a worthy groom.
Meanwhile, there was a young man named Gyeonwoo who lived in the celestial world. Gyeonwoo, like his name, has always enjoyed riding cows. The king liked Gyeonwoo's bravery, so he decided to take him as a son-in-law and arranged Gyeonwoo and Jicknyeo to wed.
After getting married, Gyeonwoo and Jicknyeo became a couple who held hands together and enjoyed wandering around all day. However, the king became displeased when he found out that all they did was hang out every day without working at all. At first, the king tried to talk some sense into his daughter, but she refused to listen. Out of rage, the king separated Gyeonwoo and Jicknyeo by making Gyeonwoo live in the east and Jicknyeo in the west.
The king allowed Gyeonwoo and Jicknyeo to see each other only once a year on July 7th, which is Chilseok, with the Milky Way standing between them.
Regretting the past days that they passed idly, they waited dearly for Chilseok to come every year. Chilseok finally arrived after a long wait, and Gyeonwoo and Jicknyeo hastened to the Milky Way. The Milky Way, however, was far too wide to cross.
So with the Milky Way between them, Gyeonwoo and Jicknyeo wept so much to the point that the world flooded with their tears. And when that happened, all the animals got tired of the rain and flood, so they all agreed to make a bridge for Gyeonwoo and Jicknyeo so they can meet.
Magpies and crows who could fly high up into the sky were chosen to create a bridge across the Milky Way. And thanks to them, Gyeonwoo and Jicknyeo were finally able to meet each other again and end their sorrow. Since then, it is said that on every July 7th, magpies and crows soar into the Milky Way. And when it rains on Chilseok, people believe that Gyeonwoo and Jicknyeo aren't crying tears of sadness, but tears of joy.
Wow. Do you guys know what the bridge made by magpies and crows is called?
Yeah, I heard about it.
You've heard of
Pro
it?
bridge.
Crow Bridge?
Crow bridge?
Magpie.
Magpies, crow bridge?
Yeah,
Alright.
I heard it's ojakyo.
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 Wow, she knows everything.
I know, right?
Thanks to my Korean sonsengnim.
Everything.
Credits.
So, yes, the name of the bridge is made by magpies and crows is called Ojakyo Bridge. In Korea, a person who plays a matchmaker like the Cupid is often described as playing the role of an Ojakyo Bridge.
You guys, that's quite a romantic story, I
Yeah.
guess. You think of it romantically. Do you have any sort of romantic tales or folklore in your country?
Do you have any? Because I searched about it and I thought about it very deeply, but there is none.
There's none.
And that is because Dutch people are, how we say, like down to earth, very sober, and even in modern day dating, they are very much not romantic. They don't really like giving too many compliments or too many gifts. It's very much casual. Like for example, Dutch pay. That is Dutch.
Is that where
That's
where it comes from?
Really?
Yes. So even during a date, if you're boyfriend and girlfriend, they could be paying separately because that's what Dutch people do. And for example, if they date for a longer time, they could move in together, maybe raise a dog or a cat, and then even have children, all without getting married.
Whoa.
And then if maybe like 5-10 years or even 20 years pass by and they think, well, we are ready for this step, then they could get married.
So are Dutch people like more realistic?
Yes, very realistic. So we
Rather
don't
than
really have
emotion?
so we don't really have any kind of folklores like.
If you talk about MBTI, they're like T.
Yes, very
Very T.
and very direct, and that's a big difference between Koreans and Dutch people. Like for example, if we don't like something, we will just say it. If we don't want to meet someone, we're not going to be like, "See you next time."
Very, very straightforward.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you T?
No, I'm F.
You're F.
But yeah, I am kind of more Dutch style than Korean style. Honestly.
Really? That's interesting. So then, like, I mean, because that reminds me a little bit of like this meme where there's like two business people and they're talking to each other, and then the guy's like, it's like, all right, Jessica, I forgot her name. I propose we get married. And then she's like, okay, then what's your proposition? And then he just lists out his details. It's like, 47-year-old with this, how much money, da da da. And then she says that, and then they're like, all right, well, how much time are we going to spend together? How much this and that, da da da. And then by the end of it, they're like, all right, I don't think it's going to work out. It's been nice knowing you.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
It's like that as well?
Yes.
Oh my
And it's
God.
not just dating, but just in everyday life, they're just very sober like that. And I think it's like kind of nice. It's
Kind of nice, yeah.
Wow. It's like waiting until you see that it's gonna work for real.
Yeah, a little bit like that.
That's interesting.
I mean, I kind of like that as well, because then you can kind of treat it like a business too. Maybe you come down, you go on a date, and you bring like a file, your documents. You're like, okay, these are the things that I like, my hobbies. Does it ever get to like this level? Because I like that.
Well, I don't think up to that level, but yeah. But still, they are very realistic.
Yeah.
We do have, of course, romantic people, but most of it, it's not like seeing Love is Blind. It's not really that kind of.
Okay, then do you think if I went on a date, I could come with a file like that, have everything written down, and she'd be like, oh, okay, I accept that.
The second date.
The second date.
Because it's very normal also for Dutch people to really ask questions, like for example, the important questions, like for later on, like do you have a religion, like what do you want to do later on, like the questions that most people don't ask on like a first date or even like the first couple of dates.
Oh my goodness! I love Korea, but I might just have to move. I really enjoy that. That sounds amazing.
Nice.
Thank you for letting me know. Okay, watch out, Netherlands.
Let's go.
I think that's pretty interesting. So different. In my country, there is a legend, the Guatavita Lake legend. So they say that in the lake every full moon, you can see a woman walking in the fog, among the fog. So it is about this chief who, like before the Spanish people came to our country, this chief and his wife, the princess, they had a happy marriage and they even had a daughter. But one day the chief just got very absorbed in his work and women and also alcohol. So he started like the princess started feeling very lonely. And one day loneliness was too much. So she fell in love with this warrior. And ever since then, she would make her husband very drunk in order to spend the nights with the warrior. There was this old lady who saw the relationship and was very jealous of the beauty of the princess and the relationship she had with the warrior. So she told the chief, and the chief was very mad. He wanted to go for revenge. So he captured the warrior, tortured him, and then took his heart out.
Oh my God.
So after that, he was so happy that he had his revenge that he threw a feast for his wife. He served as a main dish a deer heart. But everybody knew who this heart was, really. But she started eating because she didn't know. And suddenly, like when the chief got very drunk, he got very happy because of his revenge, and he said it. He said, oh, that's the warrior's heart. So she was very like she was very sad and very displeased. So she left. She took her daughter and left for the lake and went in. And the priest saw that. The priest told the chief. So the chief started feeling so bad about his actions and went looking for them. So they couldn't find them. And one of the guards went into the lake and found that she was living happily with her daughter underwater. And since that day, the chief started doing some rituals in the lake and throwing gold in there. So they said that every full moon, she would come out and you would be able to see her in the fog. So a lot of people say that because of all the gold that the chief threw, that could be the treasure of El Dorado. That's one of the theories that there is about that.
El Dorado.
El Dorado.
Is that
Very familiar.
Yeah,
Very
right.
familiar.
I used to live in El Dorado. Actually, it was Dorado Park.
Dorado Park.
That was the neighborhood we used to live in.
Is the gold there?
Maybe. Yeah, that's a myth as well.
There's a lot of theories about El Dorado, and this is one of them.
And if we go to like any river, can we find some gold kind of like in the rivers?
I mean, I don't think so, but like if you try Guatavita, maybe go in and see if there's something. Maybe there is something.
So where are you gonna move to, Colombia or Netherlands?
Oh my goodness, I'm not gonna lie. Netherlands I'm really like considering going over to Netherlands now.
But there's no dating in Netherlands.
Dating?
We have a lot of bikes.
You have bikes?
Oh, we have more bikes than people in the Netherlands.
More bikes
What?
than people. Do you hear that?
Oh yeah, that's a nice fact. So compared to the population of the Netherlands, there's more bikes.
Really?
Whoa.
Okay, guys, I'm sorry.
It's gonna be Netherlands.
I love Korea, and I've been here now for 2 years. But I just found something that sounds like home.
Oh my god.
I might have to go back and forth, I'll go to Netherlands every now and then, and I'll come back here as well. I'll do some daringi adventures in Korea, and then some daringi adventures in Netherlands, and record that.
Shit, yeah.
Oh my god.
And then go on dates as well, and have my file ready.
Really? You could take her on a bike date, and that's like
Bike date.
fine.
Oh, bike date too.
Don't need a car. You could just
Oh my
take
god.
her on the back.
Wow.
Dago, that's your like dream country, no?
It sounds like a dream come true.
Oh
Seriously.
my god.
Going on a back date and at the end giving her the contract.
The contract.
Oh my god.
Oh, I love this so much. You don't even understand. I would actually write the contract. Like I would spend a few days beforehand writing the contract. And I think I almost kind of did it once as well. And without even meeting somebody, I just thought of like a contract. I'm like, man, wouldn't it function so much better if we had a contract saying like, you have to do this at this time, go here, do that. And then simple, you just sign it and you get the vibes.
No. No, I do not get the vibes.
I get you.
You get it, right?
I get it.
Okay, would you say you're more on like the romantic side, or like, I don't know what to call this. Is this realist?
Let's be
Realistic?
realistic, yes.
Yeah, okay.
So either T or F.
I guess.
And MBTI, I'm a F.
So you like, okay, but you're more on the romantic side?
I don't know about that. I'm just like more emotional, I guess. Like emotion.
Yeah.
So I guess,
Right.
yeah, you can say romantic side.
Interesting. I mean, I'm an F as well, honestly.
Oh, really?
But I love
You know what?
this.
I'm F too, but I'm also a J. So J is planning. So we like to have everything in a contract. So I guess that's what you're.
Wait, I'm a J
going
too.
for. Yeah. So if you go FJ, so I guess that's why we like contracts.
I'm actually FP, but Winnie, if you guys remember Winnie, he was one of the hosts during the time that you weren't here.
Yeah.
And he said that I was a lazy J.
You?
Yeah, he calls me a lazy J because
Lazy J.
I like that type of stuff. Like I like to plan, I like the contracts, even though I'm a P. So he's like, oh, you're a lazy J.
You're a lazy J.
You plan, but you don't do it. Kind of like that.
So, yeah. Would you consider yourself more on the romantic side, or?
Oh, I think I don't know, because I also like how the contract sounds like. To
You
be
do?
honest,
Yes.
like I'm a J as well, but I like. Honestly, I like the contract thing.
What?
Because
Let's go.
I feel like every relationship should have some boundaries, and like you should know, like how are you going? Because some people are like, you meet them and like, okay, let's go on a date, let's do everything, and like, okay, hold on, little by little.
Oh yes.
So yeah, I think the contract thing, it's a nice way to go around.
Well, so if they break the rule, you're gonna sue them? Are you gonna sue your loved one? You see your loved one?
I mean, if you have to, right? Like,
Oh my god.
It should be a
no,
pedal.
I don't think I would go that far. But I mean, I like the sound of that as well. Like, set the boundaries and set like a good pace and things like. You wouldn't sign a contract
Oh, not a contract. I don't think there's a reason to sign a contract for
love?
Yeah.
Okay. I used to think that as well, but now after our amazing guest today, I'm like, I can be, I can be like this. It's okay.
You're being brainwashed. You're being brainwashed. Man. I mean, very fun. Very interesting.
Yeah. Then, do you guys?
Oh, do you guys have like a similar word like in your home country?
I mean,
To ojak.
Ojak Bridge?
ojakyo. I don't
Ojakyo
think
bridge.
like for like ojakyo, like a person for a cupid, no, but like if you want to be cupid yourself, usually you say nice things about somebody to, for example, you want to get this friend with this friend. So to this friend, you tell good things about the other friend. In Colombia, when you're saying good things about another person, you said that you're throwing them flowers. Echarle flores, which means like, oh, you're talking very nice things about that person. And it doesn't just work in the context of like matchmaking. It also works just when you're saying some good things about the other person, but sometimes in a little excessively. So let's say you're talking about a professor and you're saying, oh no, he's the best professor. He does this and that, and you're like, oh, you're throwing flowers at that professor too much.
It's a nice expression.
Interesting. I think in like the US we just call that like matchmaking.
Matchmaking?
Right? I mean, especially if it's between kind of people you want to put together, then that's matchmaking. So there's like matchmaking services and things like that.
Oh,
But if
yeah.
it's not dating, I don't know if there's like a special word for that. It's just like introducing friends or something, or talking
so.
highly of somebody or something like
Yeah,
that.
kind of
Yeah.
like talking highly of
Talking highly of someone, yeah. But I like that, like throwing flowers. That sounds very romantic.
Very cute. We don't have anything cute like that, but we do believe in like, well, not really believe, but if we talk about love at first sight, liefde op het eerste gezicht.
Oh.
In Dutch, it's kind of like we do mention Cupid, and then it's just Cupido. So
Cupido?
yeah, we do mention it, but it's not like anything else similar to that. Unfortunately, nothing very cute.
Yeah, I guess like that it would be Cupid
Cupid.
is kind of like the thing that it would
Yeah.
be similar to. And
Right.
then, and do people say like Cupid these days? Or like the matchmaking or throwing flowers? That's something people say?
Yeah, the charle flores is a very used expression in my country,
Oh.
actually.
Because I heard from my PD that like the Ojakyo Bridge, people don't really say it that often. Have you heard like anybody say Ojakyo
No.
Bridge? No?
No.
So that means it's like a really good thing for you to say. You say that and then you're kind of like in. People would be like, what? What is this Ajoshi saying? Ojakyo?
Oh, Ojakyo.
Do you know any like stories from maybe the US or so?
So I think like US like takes like stories from like different like countries and make it their own like film. So I guess one is like Cinderella.
Okay.
Is that like a romantic tale?
Oh yeah, potentially Cinderella, and there's a really famous one,
Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet,
so-
right?
Yeah,
Tragic.
those are the only two I know as of right now.
Yeah. Do you like the story of Romeo and Juliet? Is that kind of what you're looking for?
Not really.
No?
Not really. Yeah.
That's the next level of romance.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these romantic tales, they end kind of like not that great, or the people who are like in the story are like doing
Nothing?
like nothing. Yeah, exactly. Like like Chilseok as well, they were doing nothing, and that's why they got split.
Yeah.
I think that's the beauty of those stories as well, like the tragic element.
Tragic,
element,
yeah.
right.
That's why everybody just make a contract and let's get rid of the tragedy.
Craziness, just
I'll get the contract ready.
Get the contracts ready. Okay.
fine.
And with that, it's actually time to say goodbye. Thank you both for coming out. How was your second experience on HAYIK Show?
Yeah, it was my second experience.
Oh.
I liked it even more than the first.
Oh.
It was very nice to like talk about several things and even meeting new people. We met last time, so. And well, I hope to come again next time.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Same for me. I think it was because the first time I was very, very nervous. This time I feel like more relaxed. So thank you guys so much for inviting us. And you guys are great. Making me feel very comfortable. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Very much.
The HAYIK Show will air every Thursday at 2 p.m. with a new guest each time, so stay tuned. See you guys at 2 p.m. next week.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
H. HAYIK Show.
HAYIK Show.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
What is